group of Tzu Chis visited the seniors living in Ormoc Great Love Village in the Philippines on Valentine's Day. 6 religious groups in Malacca, Malaysia have gathered in Bukit Berang to pray for the world. Welcome to Diet Headlines, I'm Simon Gan. Thank you for joining us. A group of Tzu Chis visited the seniors living in the Ormoc Great Love Village in the Philippines on Valentine's Day. They gave the seniors handmade desserts and lovely towel dolls as gifts, expressing their love and care to them.
Using towels and rubber bands to make cute bears. In a big pot, there are delicious and sweet rice cakes. This day is Western Valentine's Day. This group of young people want to send out a surprise. Singing a thank you song that added by themselves, a lively group of youth surrounded a solitary grandma and gave her a gift. They also gave her a big hug, making her move to tears.
I was sad and depressed before, but now I'm the same as you, feeling very blessed. Thank you.
Accepting the love from these young people happily, the seniors in the village showed their smiles for being respected.
Tzu Chis spared their time to visit me, making me very happy.
Happy Valentine's! Kamu among Valentine's!
In the Ormoc Great Love Village, Chi Chains gave off their care and at the same time got more affirmed.
We're able to care for the seniors, letting them feel being loved and not alone because we're here.
Although we didn't spend today with our lover, it is more special to us because we could express our respect to the seniors.
Spread love in this special day to fill the village with joyful moments.
To prevent the spread of the novel coronavirus, starting January 23rd, Wuhan City in China has been quarantined by order of the government. Following the virus's outbreak, other regions in the country, including many smaller districts, have also been ordered to close. In the past 20-some days, with citizens unable to leave their home, some have taken this opportunity to enhance their wisdom by reading books, practicing sutra writing, or even making preparations for the birth of their grandchildren. Tzu Chi's Dharma family remains close by virtual connections and even gather to study sutra texts together. Let's see how these residents are doing.
Wuhan, China on lockdown, citizens cannot leave their home.
This is the farthest distance I travel each day, from the balcony to my room.
They are not lacking in daily living items.
It is the 22nd day of the Wuhan lockdown. There are the books I've read these days, and these are the ones I'm preparing to read.
In these times, spiritual sustenance is important.
Through an internet connection, volunteers from 3 towns in Wuhan can join the study group.
Study groups in other regions have also switched from in-person to online. Home visitations of care recipients are conducted through the phone.
Brother Yao, I'm Tzu Chi volunteer Wenqing's sister. I visited you before the new year. Have you put to use the items we brought over?
The city is on lockdown, but spirits are not down. Instead, they have adjusted their mindsets and are feeling grateful for this extra time.
I'm using this time to make clothes and a blanket for my grandchild who's about to enter this world. I'm grateful I was given this time to do this.
In China, the coronavirus epidemic continues to threaten the health of local people. Tzu Chi volunteers in Changsha, Hunan province urgently dispatched more than 2,000 medical isolation gowns and nearly 500 sets of thermal underwear to hospitals in Hubei and Hunan. They hope that when the epidemic is most severe, their hearts are still warm.
The streets are almost empty in Changsha, Hunan. Many communities are closed off and access is only based on passes.
Because of the epidemic, all the shops on the street are closed now.
Golden Apple Market is the largest clothing wholesale market in Changsha. Without the big crowds in the past, hundreds of shops have pulled down their shutters.
SARS did not close it. This is the first time the door has been closed.
Tzu Chi volunteers did everything they could to contact vendors here and buy goods at cost to be distributed.
Everything is here, such as thermal underwear, because Hubei is very cold these days.
All 408 sets of thermal underwear should be sent to Shaochang People's Hospital, Shaogan City, Hubei. This is where the epidemic is most severe, as the donations go to the medical staff and patients at the hospital.
The day before yesterday, Hubei got cooler and it was snowing. We were very anxious and hoped to give them thermal underwear so they don't catch cold again.
When everyone is in danger of shipping goods and cargo, this group of volunteers have stepped forward. Each is over the age of 70 and they are willing to do more, which also inspired the owner of a logistics company.
他是第一次，他就是听到熊多说我们昨天在那做事，他说怎么不叫我了？我就想他个子矮小没有力气，他说没关系啊，他说我下面还有人啊，
很多小伙伴愿意。
他车子也有，人也有。
对，我们公司也有小伙伴，挺好的。
It's better than being at home. I am with this loving Dharma family and doing something small, so I feel good.
Taking good care to protect oneself, they are able to bring compassion and materials such as isolation gowns, which will be sent directly to many hospitals in Hunan.
Now, after getting attention from you, you are better. You must have seen us use plastic wraps to wrap our heads to protect ourselves.
The shortage of epidemic prevention products meant that many medical staff had to use plastic wrap and plastic bags to protect themselves, which made them vulnerable to the risk of infection at any time. Volunteers happily delivered these urgent materials to those at the front line as they look forward to the coming of the spring and an end to this deadly epidemic.
An epidemic response team has been set up by the Tzu Chi Singapore chapter. One of their first tasks is to send out a gift package to those on the front line, which not only encourages them, but also protect them against the danger of the spread of the virus.
这个时刻呢，我们就觉得一定要成立这样的一个对应小组，然后怎么样的在社会怎么安抚人心。
Tzu Chi Singapore chapter established an epidemic response team to fight the epidemic. The chapter enacted a plan to send love. To decrease the possible spread of the virus, volunteers used a minimal amount of people to put together a gift pack for those on the front lines.
Those on the front lines work long hours and also face the risk of getting infected. We want to encourage them and let them know we care. We hope this lifts up their spirits.
As everyone's participation is needed to fight this epidemic, it is hoped the community will form a protective shield.
There is a lot of love in the package, with the inclusion of vitamin C and apples. The thing I love the most is this heart. I really like handcrafted items.
很有诚心。
很感动，其实我刚才有点想要哭。
It's pretty moving. I actually wanted to cry because right now, many people are discriminating against the Chinese or those coming back from China. So with this positive activity, I think it's very influential to me. It has given me some comfort and I'm moved. I'm sorry for being emotional.
Sending love to the staff at Tzu Chi as well as those medical staff on the front lines. Tzu Chi helps to stop the possible spread of the virus.
In Singapore, the Great Love Kindergarten keeps high caution to the spread of the COVID-19 virus. On top of the basic preventive measures instructed by the government, the school also monitors the children's body condition carefully. The teacher also use stories to teach the children about the virus and how they can protect themselves.
戴口罩，我们要经常 wash hands with soap and water， 每天这个东西要每天做的。Hello.
During the epidemic period, Singapore Great Love Kindergarten is staying cautious. The school measures the body temperature 4 times a day instead of 2 and does disinfections in the classrooms so parents can be sure of their children's safety.
I think Tzu Chi does a good job in disinfection measures, and they have a very thorough plan, so we are not very worried.
A new virus has arrived in town. Oh, they are coming.
Through the picture books and lively stories, the teacher hopes to make these children understand the COVID-19 virus.
Because it's widely spread in the whole world, right? And I want them to know how serious it is and how can they fight this virus by protecting themselves.
The virus is tiny and we can't see with our bare eyes. If you wash your hands, then you won't get sick. We need to wash our hands many times a day, or the virus will come to our hands.
If you are sneezing, then you must wear a mask.
Teachers and students pray with a sincere heart that the epidemic can be ended soon.
In response to the novel coronavirus epidemic, 6 religious groups in Malacca, Malaysia have gathered in Bukit Berang to pray for the world. They followed the rituals of their religions and prayed for the epidemic to end. Let's join them there.
Malaysia's 6 religious groups have gathered to sincerely pray for the world.
We want to invite all the interfaith groups in Malacca, mostly Hindu Sangha. The Hindu priests will come in a little while. And we call the Buddhists, we call the Tzu Chi to come, and they're coming in a big group. And we have a Christian group from the church, they're coming here. Sikh prayers for the one lady coming, Sister Manmit. And also we have a Baha'i group is coming for the prayer. And last one is our Jain prayer. So we hope that sincere prayer will be a noble cause and answered by God. And the sickness will go away. So everybody will be in the good environment with the God's grace.
There is only one religion, the religion of love.
The religious representatives follow their own religious rituals to pray for the epidemic to end.
I think it's really very good opportunity for us to come together, unite with one common goal, like they say. So we send them our love, we send them our blessing. At the same time, we have to take care of our health. Eat right, eat well, exercise. All these things is actually what we should be doing. Like Master say, prevention better than cure. Always be alert.
The world is one, and that all of us who should come together in times of no difficulties and tests. Not only in times of difficulties and tests, but we should be acting as one, no, whatever the situation. The one simple thing that we can do is not to spread fake news.
We are united as one family. Together we stand, we love you, we pray for you, and we believe that you will get well.
Promoting vegetarianism in Malaysia's Batu Pahat, 2 Tzu Chi volunteers who are housewives began to sell homemade lunches to those wanting an alternative to the more traditional lunches. They make sure their meals are low sodium and healthy, sometimes even doing customized lunches for people. Their business has grown since the end of 2018.
At this kitchen, it only serves healthy dishes.
这个是阿嬷没有吃炸的。对，因为老人家没有吃炸的嘛，所以我们就换那个其他菜给他咯。
Towards the end of 2018, 2 Tzu Chi volunteers, Tek Siok Nyan and Kirk Fong Liang, joined together to promote vegetarianism to those around them by making lunch boxes.
We feature more home cooking menu. It's not like the storefronts where lots of oil have been added. Its appeal is the home cooked meal. Some might feel like it doesn't have the same appeal as other lunch boxes. Our lowest order was 7 boxes a day, but now it's around 30 lunches a day.
Some of their customers include factory workers, school teachers, and solitary seniors.
抽了2颗星啦，咱们吃得开心一点吗？
我是佛
I'm a Buddhist, so I know being a vegetarian is good. Now there's a virus out, so it's good I've kept a vegetarian diet.
In the past, I didn't promote the service because I felt like it was an individual choice of mine. But since the recent virus and the destruction of the environment, I've begun to promote vegetarianism to my friends and family. It's not just having a compassionate heart, but also good for the environment.
These meatless meals not only taste good, but also protect the environment and one's health.
In 2003, Mak Ki-sung helped to cook vegetarian food for Tzu Chi during the Vegetarian Month. He made a vow to embrace vegetarianism, and it has been 17 years already. His eldest son, who is also a chef, followed his father's footsteps to go meatless and cook vegetarian food.
My name is Mak Ki-sung. When I was young, I worked in a Chinese restaurant. At that time, I killed chickens, ducks, and suckling pigs. I cut them into pieces and seasoned, followed by roasting. With SARS at that time, I also needed to cook.
The SARS epidemic in 2003 was very serious, and Master Deng Yan called on everyone to embrace vegetarian piously. In response to the call from Master Deng Yan, the Malaysian chapter started a 10-year vegetarian campaign, setting May each year as the Vegetarian Month, and serving vegetarian lunches and dinners for free. Under the invitation of Tzu Chi volunteers, Mak Ki-sung helped to cook vegetarian meals. At that time, he also promised to embrace vegetarianism. It has been 17 years until now.
I started to eat vegetarian food since SARS. At first, I would eat vegetables of the meaty dishes. I thought it's okay as long as I didn't eat any meat. Later, I didn't really eat that. After I joined Tzu Chi, I learned that it's better to go meatless. A lot of animals would be killed for a meat diet, and it's not good. I used to kill a lot of animals like chickens, ducks, or others. They would scream loudly when being killed. It's really horrible. I regret that. I have to pray and worship before I sleep. I have 4 children, 3 daughters and a son. All are married. When they come back, I will try to cook vegetarian food without meat for them.
Mak Ki-sung's insistence affects his eldest son, who is also a chef.
He's been to Tzu Chi with me. He saw me cook in the kitchen. Later, he changed to cook vegetarian food. He also cooks vegetarian dishes at home, too. The animals also have spirits. They know that you have to kill them. They will also be scared. Don't kill animals for your own appetite. Let's embrace vegetarianism together to save the earth. We will relatively have peace of mind.
All living beings are equal. It is expected that everyone will no longer deprive other animals' survival for their own desire.
Housewife Ang Siu Eng in Malacca, Malaysia, tries to cook healthy and delicious vegetarian meals for her family every day. When her husband had a surgery in Taiwan last year, he was well cared for by Taiwan Tzu Chi volunteers. It touched her deeply, so she decided that her whole family would become vegetarian for the well-being of the earth.
I kept going on the internet to learn how to cook vegetarian food.
Ang Siu Eng is busy cooking in the kitchen. This is her expression of love to her family.
There are vegetables, rice and corn. There are mushrooms, potatoes and carrots, and also tomatoes. They're delicious.
There are different dishes in many colors. This will give us enough nutrients, so we are fortunate.
When Siu Eng's son was 15 years old, he said, "I want to be a vegetarian." She didn't understand his decision, but she began cooking vegetarian dishes because she loved him.
He had never had any reason to be vegetarian, so when he suddenly said he wanted to do it, it kind of shocked me. It shocked me that he wanted to be vegetarian. I said that if he wanted to be vegetarian, I'd cook it for you. I only worried that he wouldn't eat it and would starve.
I was very touched because on that day I insisted on not eating any meat. My mom said she objected to my decision, but she still cooked vegetarian meals for me the following day.
After her husband recovered from his brain surgery in Taiwan last year, Siri-Ann was more determined that the family should be vegetarian.
My father had brain surgery in Taiwan in 2019. He was unconscious in the ICU for 22 days, returned to Malaysia at the end of September. After that, when people saw Dad's condition, they really doubted if he had the surgery. I believe that being vegetarian is important to his recovery from the surgery. You don't get sick when you're vegetarian, and you also have more spirit, so we have been vegetarian since then.
When 3 generations can be vegetarian together, they will gather a lot of blessing.
In Taiwan, Taitung Tzu Chi volunteers join hands with Huashan Social Welfare Foundation volunteers to help a lung cancer patient. This patient and his son live in a messy home. Therefore, the volunteers work together to help them clean up the place.
Filled with miscellaneous items and discarded materials, this place seemed like an abandoned house. It is hard to believe that this is the home of Mr. Zhang and his son.
He does car repairs. In the past, he was healthy. However, after his wife passed away, he was left with the son. He has had to raise the son by himself. It is quite pitiful.
He does not have a bed or desk, so he has been wandering outside.
After more than 4 months of companionship and communication, Tzu Chi volunteers finally got Mr. Zhang's consent to let them clean his house. Among the cleaning volunteers are members of Huashan Social Welfare Foundation. The local health center has referred Mr. Zhang's case to them, so they started to care for Mr. Zhang's health. Being touched by Tzu Chi volunteers' efforts, they decided to work together to clean Mr. Zhang's house.
In fact, it is very difficult to recruit volunteers. We see that so many people volunteer with Tzu Chi Foundation. We are deeply touched. If we want to help them clean the place, we'd like to have Tzu Chi volunteers organize the event.
I'm very grateful that Tzu Chi uncles, aunts, and social workers are willing to help us clean the place.
After cleaning, the discarded items pile up like a small mountain. The house has been restored to its original look. After the cleanup, the volunteers help the Zhang family buy daily necessities. They work as a team to move the supplies into the clean house, including new sofa and new bed. From now on, Mr. Zhang and his son can live in a more comfortable environment.
Tzu Chi New Zealand chapter hosted the 2020 scholarship distribution in Christchurch, attended by 24 students, alongside with their teachers and parents. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and goodbye.